What's going on, everybody? This is Neo, and you're checking out thesource.com as well as Source TV. Keep it locked. Y'all know what it is. 2012. Peace and love. R.E.D, which is the name of the album, R.E.D, is an acronym standing for Realizing Every Dream. That was not the title of the album at first. I was going to call the album something else completely, something completely other. The initial title of the album was The Crack to Mr. Perfect. And basically what the album was going to be was the good, bad, and ugly of Neo. You know, like 9 times out of 10, when you see me, you see the suit, you see, you know, the clean cut, you know. But that's not always the case with me, and I needed people to understand that, you know, I'm not just a dude in a suit. Like, I'm a human being. You know, I make mistakes, I get angry. These are things that happen to human beings, and I'm no exception. You know, so I wanted to express that with this album. Plus, to be completely honest with you, I had some stuff I wanted to complain about. You know, I wanted to complain about the fact that as a celebrity, we're kind of expected to, you know, smile all the time. Like, we're not allowed to have a bad day. You're not allowed to say no to an autograph, no to a picture without being called an asshole for it. Right. You know, the whole nine. Again, people completely not understanding that as a human being, you know, if I walk out of a restaurant, you ask me for a picture, and I say no, you don't know, I could have just gotten in an argument with my girl. I could have just got, you know, bad news from my mom. Anything could have happened before you asked for that picture, but you don't know that. All you know is I said no to you in that moment. So, so I'm an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, just not understanding that, yes, I'm a celebrity, whatever, but I'm a human being, you know. But I had to fall back off of that because, you know, I literally stepped outside of myself and looked at my situation, and it's like, you have absolutely nothing to complain about. You got nothing to complain about. You are part of this very small and elite club of people that get to do what they love for a living. Shut the hell up. Like, what are you complaining about?
Tell yourself to shut the hell up?
Yeah, like, man.
Was it in the mirror? Was it in the mirror set?
Literally, I'm in the mirror at the house talking to myself like, what the hell is wrong with you, man? You know, it was one of those. So I decided to go a whole other route with it. And Realizing Every Dream, the reason that the album's called that is because from age 9 was when I told myself, I don't want to be a damn superhero. I don't want to be anything. I want to do music. That's going to be my life. From age 9 to now, 32 years old. Every dream, every goal that I set for myself have all been realized and all through music. You know? So I feel like that's something that's worth a celebration. That's worthy of a celebration. So this album is basically a celebration of my first love. It's been music pretty much my whole life. You know, the only thing comes second to it now is my kids.
Let's kind of talk about the route that R&B is taking because it's not where it used to be. A lot of people are experimenting with different sounds, you know, European sounds. So let's kind of talk about that a little bit.
Well, I feel like the craft of R&B is in a state of emergency right now, just because, and I got in some trouble for saying this. I feel like there's an emotional disconnect in the world of R&B right now. You know, the example that I always use is the group Jodeci. Like, these cats was, you know, baggy leather jeans, belted at their thighs, like, you know, walking around with machetes and masks on, but talking about forever my lady. Talking about love you for life, talking about I'll cry for you, you know what I mean? But you believed it, like it was believable. You heard the passion in the voice, you believed what they were saying. Even though they looked how they looked and it was thug and it was that, you know, they didn't have to sing about being a thug. Or they didn't have to sing about, you know, they let the R&B be true to what it was. Exactly. You know, and I feel like that's something that's missing in R&B right now. Like, everybody is taking the whole concept of being cool or being hard or whatever the case may be, and it's like R&B was never meant to be that, yo. Like, that's not what R&B's for. You know, let's keep it all the way funky. R&B is for women and dudes that want to get the attention of women. You know, you go when you lay down with your lady, you throw some R&B. You don't throw in hip hop. That's not what you do. I mean, if you want to keep your lady, that's not what you do.
You ain't gonna set the mood throwing on some DMX.
You're not gonna set the mood to Meek Mill. You know, no disrespect to Meek Mill. That dude is dope, but that's not what I want to listen to when I lay down with my girl. You know, that's you turn on the R&B for that. Cats are trying to take R&B into this other place where it's like not what it's for.
Right.
You know, and I feel like that's the reason R&B is suffering right now. I feel like hip hop is for something specific and R&B is for something specific. And by no means am I saying that you can't push the envelope and try something new, but I don't feel like you should try something new and completely abandon its origin. You know, like I don't think that's right. And I think that's what's wrong with R&B right now.
Right. Last night, a whole bunch of news broke. Roscoe Dash kind of called out some people over not getting some LP credits.
So
kind of looked at the new Good Music album, didn't see his name there. Then decided to call out Wale, said I wrote the song Lotus Flower Bomb, didn't get credit there. Have you ever been in a situation where you weren't credited and you kind of just got a little pissed off with that? Have you ever been in that situation as far as a writer?
Not in my professional career. Nah, I mean the closest thing I ever got to that was you know, somebody spoke up on Beyonce claiming that she wrote Irreplaceable. And my response to that was, you know, in a matter of speaking, she did get rather credit on that because she took the song from what it was and turned it into something else. You know, like if you listen to my initial demo of Irreplaceable and then listen to Beyonce's version of Irreplaceable, they don't sound the same. You know, she put melodies and harmonies behind places that they weren't originally, and all of that stuff counts as writing. It does. You know, but I don't feel like she was trying to discredit me and say that I didn't write it. I don't feel like that was the case.
Okay.
But in the case of the Roscoe Dash thing, man, that's honestly news to me. I didn't even know that.
Supposedly it happens. A lot of people don't get credit. I never really heard. I've heard somebody get some cash and said, shh. And
well,
then,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The ghostwriting thing is something that's been around for a real long time. It's definitely records floating around that, you know, you think were written by one person, but were really written by somebody else.
Right.
You got the payola on the side. It was like, listen, as long as you keep this quiet, I'll make sure you get your shine at some point. But right now, let me get this. Yeah, that happens. That happens. But no, I've never had to deal with anything like that.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Indeed. Yeah.